another episode of Single Lifeline series. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have
Kimberly!
Woo!
Okay, so can we get a short intro from you? Like maybe your hobby?
Okay, so I'm Kelly Kimberly. I am 28 years old. I am a freelance talent, a martial artist, and I am an orphan.
Okay, so would you like to share more about how you became an orphan?
Okay, so I lost my dad when I was like, I think 2 or 4 years old. I can't really remember. I'm bad with numbers, by the way. Yeah, so like he just like stormed angrily out of the house. My mom was crying in the other room, so I was just raised by my mom till I was 17, and she died of cancer. Yep.
Sorry to hear about that. Next, using one word, describe your life growing up as a single child and orphan.
Indifferent and then heartbreaking.
Would you like to elaborate more?
Okay, so indifferent, it's because like when I was young, like I assumed that your dad screaming, slamming the door and walking out on your family is like a norm. Like this stuff kind of happens to like everybody. But I guess like when my mom died, I think I was like old enough to understand like what was really going on. You know, holding her hand and watching her fade away. It's not something you smile about the next day. Over time, you learn to adapt to, you know, like adulting.
What are some of your challenges growing up and how did you overcome them?
Honestly, you know, being in a sense like poor and then like not having like access to support from like other people. Like yeah, sure, like maybe on Facebook say, hey, I've got some leftover bread, I can give it to you kind of thing. Mostly it's just being very hungry like most of the time. Yeah.
Okay, so growing up or even now, do you feel like you're being treated differently because you're from a like different family background?
Honestly, growing up, yes. Like, I mean, in like primary, secondary school, people call you like a bastard kid. Like, you know, like they always assume, right? There's always this like assumption that if you're from a single family, probably like your mom got knocked up and then like. But growing up as adults, right? I don't think many people really give a shit. Like honestly, they're just like, oh, okay, you know, parents are sorry for your loss, that kind of thing. It's not like a big deal when you're an adult. Like most people as adults, like probably lost parents as well.
Did like the people's comments like when you were younger affect you?
Honestly, right, it didn't hit me any harder than any other insult, to be honest. Yeah.
So, like, what are some misconceptions or biased views that you have heard from others about you or like people who came from single parent families?
Okay, apart from the one that I mentioned before, right, I think that a lot of people think that these people deserve less love. I mean, some people might think that way. People like us actually would do better if we had like more support and more love from like our peers who have just healthy family structures. Of course, I'm not talking about the toxic ones, but like, you know, they have wholesome families. The kind of support that we need is probably like more of like emotional support, I guess, and knowing that we are not alone.
From that, how do you manage to get where you are here today, even after losing both parental figures?
Okay, so it's really not that difficult. It's through sheer willpower and determination, not giving a shit what other people say, and also being your authentic self, because that's when you can really find your place in this world. Hashtag never give up.
What are some of your motivations in life?
Okay, so the world is so big and there's so many possibilities of like experiences you can have. So I just want to live my best life until the day I fall into the coffin, baby.
So what is one advice you would like to give the youth or the other people who are going through the same situation?
Okay, I wouldn't say it's advice, a form of reassurance. You might have gone through a different like upbringing and everything, but like your self-worth is not any different from anybody else. Like, you know, maybe sure you struggle in a certain way, but maybe that could even like make you stronger because you had to learn how to be more resourceful, more emotionally resilient than like most other people. So yeah, your weakness can be your own strength as well.
Do you think that self-discovery is important for youth?
Definitely. Okay, so self-discovery, self-awareness, like understanding who you are and how you affect the people around you and how other people affect you as well. That's very important, but I think it is not like something that you do one and done. You know, it's something you are constantly going through in life. You could discover yourself at 16 or you could discover yourself at like 28. You know, and then again you could discover yourself once again when you're in your 40s, you know. So it's an ongoing process of like self-awareness.
Just share like how did you what was the age that you discovered yourself and how did you do
I think at various junctures and points in my life, I've discovered different aspects of myself. So like when I was like really young, I discovered that I was transgender. When I was 15, I realized that I liked martial arts. So these are still different aspects, right? At 19, I discovered that like I had PTSD from my childhood, like severe trauma, and was aware of it, because sometimes, you know, when you have trauma, you act in ways that you wouldn't without it. But like the first step is always awareness. And then at 28, I discovered myself outside of that trauma and became like who I am today. And for all you know, when I'm like 40, I might discover even more about myself, you know.
So how long have you been doing martial arts?
So I started doing martial arts when I was 15. It was a lot of violence, right? And like I was a skinny, weak kid lah. So shit, I need to learn like, you know, some stuff to give me a higher survivability rate against like bigger size bullies and like quite a number of them. So the first martial art I learned was Krav Maga when I was 15. So it's like close quarter combat, like elbows, headbutts, knees, like dirty fighting. There's like also collar ties, you underhook, like a little bit of wrestling also. But it's mainly geared towards self-defense. And I went to learn Muay Thai. I mean, Lumpini Stadium kind of stuff going on. You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Muay Thai. And then currently I am learning karate.
We learn, I don't know if you know the weapon sai.
Oh, so you do the kobudo.
Yeah, kobudo.
Oh, you're not a karateka, you're a kobudo user. Okay. Now I'm very scared of her.
Okay, so is there anything else you would like to share?
Okay, this is a piece of advice I would like to give everybody. It's better to die trying than to try dying, baby. Woo!
So, otherwise, we have come to the end of our
Interview.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me.